reallocate.
First of all, thank you. Now, this is not my meeting, but I wanted to make sure I was here. We had my task force meeting last night that we chair, and it was a great turnout. We got a lot of new folks that are wanting to get involved in the community, which we welcome. And last night we did announce that my portion of the Complete Street money was going to be moved to safety. So that's about $600,000. But we also got word, and I've been trying to work with the police department on getting the police cameras put up. We were scheduled for some, but it was pushed way down the list. And so I've been yelling and kind of screaming to get those moved up. And they announced that the 10 that are already going to be, they're already allocated and paid for, are going to be put up within 3 and 4 months. So we'll have those up and going. I don't know the exact locations, but they're throughout the neighborhood. And then we can also look at if we think or need more cameras like that, we can use that with the money that we have for the $600,000. So I actually put committees together last night. So we put a quality of life committee together from our task force, and I have Pam Gerber, Tony Vetta with the GLBT Chamber, John Anderson, Cannon Brown, and then, is it Brian Taylor? They're the ones that are going to be on the quality of life committee working with city staff to figure out where we need to put lights or what needs to be done with that money. We actually walked the neighborhood on Tuesday night, and John's here, and some others, and Daniel and some other folks, and we went around District 2 and then District 14 to identify dark areas in the neighborhood where some on-course lights were obstructed. So we walked the whole neighborhood. It took about maybe a couple hours to do that, maybe a little bit more, and so I was glad to be a part of that. So from that, we're going to build on where we should add lighting or cameras or whatever thing. So that's what we had discussed last night. So it was a great turnout. So I do have a committee working on that and going to work with city staff to improve in those areas.
Councilman, question, please. Just to be clear, is that $600,000 out of funds that you already had, or is this $600,000 out of the $1.2 million for Cedar Springs?
It's the 1.2, out of the 1.2 that we have. So that's where the money's coming from. It's half of the 1.2. And so that, we split the 1.2. It was between District 2 and District 14, and I decided, and I think it's the best thing to do, is to move my $600,000 for District 2 to safety.
Where was that money originally for?
A complete street project. So as long as it's along Cedar Springs, and so some of the things we also talked about were some of the cross lights or different things like that we're going to try to address as well. And so.
Is that the beautification project or is that a different project?
It's the same. It's the same to make sure that it's the same money.
Do you have any concerns that money was specifically supposed to go to the beautification, or our tax dollars are supposed to be supporting our community and defending our community?
Actually, it was put for the street, and we met with you guys, and I know the city had some ideas of what they wanted to do, and I know you guys didn't agree with that, which I supported fully, and so some of the things that we talked about were making some of the crosswalks better, a signal light I think we talked about, or some other things. And so when the issue came up with lighting and safety, I went to the city and see if those can be used, that money could be used for those kind of issues that the community wanted. And they said I could, and so since we couldn't figure out what we really wanted to do with it, the money was sitting there, and I wanted to make sure that we could address the issues of lighting, security cameras, and some other things in the neighborhood.
I'll just say my portion of that. I think I spent enough money, tax dollars, that those safety concerns and the lighting concerns off the street should be addressed by the city out of other monies, and that $600,000 should be used for the beautification that's used in Cedar Springs. While I do feel that safety should be the #1 priority, there's a lot of money in this, city, but I really feel that it's the city's responsibility, not money that was set up for beautification, to take care of the safety on the side streets.
Which I would love to have a street and have it the money used for beautification, but to me, I think safety is more important. And I think, just like you guys said the other day when we were discussing this, you thought your sidewalks were fine. You said that you put in the money to beautify it, and we're just going to kind of enhance it. So to me, the decision I have to make is, do I want the street to look prettier, or do I want the people to be safe? And so I thought that safety is more important.
I have two questions. First question is, you said, you referenced somebody, they said that you could spend that money on something else. Who is they? What?
The city staff, so.
The city staff. So they're ignoring what we chose to do and what we got all this done. The second question is, can you pinpoint where these crimes are happening? Are they on our street right here, or are they in the periphery of the Oak Lawn area? I'm curious.
They've been, I'll let Brittany answer.
They've been more on the outside of Cedar Springs. Okay, so one was on 3100 Night, one was at 3800 Lemon. So they've been all around here, and mainly dark streets, okay, where people aren't walking. Not too many of them are going to happen right here on Cedar Springs because there's so many people walking by here, okay? They don't want people to see them, obviously, so they're going to pick where it's dark and people are more isolated.
This is William, hopefully your favorite videographer from Two Hats Publishing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please leave comments below, or like, follow, or subscribe to us and get notices of all our videos. We love it, even when you call.